Thank you so much, everyone. So, from that last one, we've talked about the fact that we have service providers. So that basically means whatever you do, whatever service you do, you can offer it to members at a discount. If there's a promo at the place that you work and you want members to partake out of that promo, you can offer it to. Now understand our major goal. Are we together? Understand our major goal. Our major goal is to grow together. We grow when an individual person grows. So somebody getting better, making a sale affects everyone. Do you understand? So for instance, if Kabzeel makes 50 naira, in a sense, a member has made even at least maybe 5 kobo. Do you understand? And it will compound over time. So moving forward, because of our time, we'll open also the store. We can list businesses, and it is to help every other business. There is no competition here. We can have 10 fashion people. We can have 10 people that are doing different things, basically. So I'd like to also announce that we have new forms of investments that are available, and Vision 2021 is going to be interested. We have what we call the privilege. Privilege is for accounts that are not necessarily members yet. For instance, I'm a member and I have an organization, and my organization wants to invest. My own organization. My organization is not a person. Do you understand? So we've created a privileged platform from there. So you can speak to our treasurer, Mrs. Timlane Sonny, or our in-house accountant, Sister Janet, and they'll take you on. So there are different ways rather than line. The last place to keep money right now is your savings account. So we shouldn't do that. So privilege is for people who either high net worth individuals or people who have organizations that don't necessarily want to partake in the in-house, all the things that you do, pay monthly, but want to run together. So 2021. Now, we have what we call the Kabzeel Fund. Are we together? We're going to be done. I expect us to be done in another 30 minutes, so it's not going to be long. We have what we call the Kabzeel Fund. Right now, investing in Nigeria is a very difficult terrain because of all inflation, deflation, and a lot of things that are happening. So one way we want to beat that is by encouraging members to grow their own individual businesses. So I want to create a fund to encourage members to grow their businesses. This is one very important part I would like for all of us to listen, because the businesses will not be available for everybody to invest in. Now, we have 5 focus areas. Focus area 1 is agriculture. Focus area 2 is technology. 3 is healthcare. 4 is education. And 5 is digital currency. So if you are doing anything in this line, as a member, we would encourage you and will partner and support. Now, to test this idea for next year, I want to share my own personal example with us and make it available to us so that we can see and grow with it. So this is about the most important part of our sharing now. Our AGM will come up next year. It will be a lot of fanfare. We will not do some of these details anymore. We will just announce, and people that are available will either choose to participate or not participate, but they may not know why. So in March this year, when lockdown started, I went to pray. I went to ask God that, okay, what should our response be to coronavirus? A lot of people didn't expect it, didn't see it. You know, as of January, it was still ravaging China, then crossing to Europe. A lot of people didn't see it. And then when it came to Nigeria, and I prayed, God told just forwards, grow your own food. And that was the answer that I got. And between March and now, I can tell you that a lot has happened. Now, so what I see, one focus that we will do, that I am focusing on, is agriculture. Agriculture to end in food available to us. Now, inflation in Nigeria, it has crossed 14%. What 14% means that in 6 years, what you buy for 1 naira is 2 naira. Do you understand? That's what inflation should mean. But if you understand food inflation, that is food alone, food items. Food items is, according to the officials, the professors, they are saying 17%. But the black market professors, that means the economics, everybody is announcing this. Then there are now people that are saying, based on our own findings, this is what we are finding. According to I call them black market professors. According to the black market professors, they are saying their own estimate. So the original professors are saying 17% food inflation. Black market professors are saying between 23 and 30%. That means in 3 years, what you're buying for 10 naira will double. Who remembers when we used to buy pure water 5 naira? It's when we were buying pure water 5 naira, in Port Harcourt it was 10 naira. I suspect it will be 20 naira now. So very soon pure water can become 20 naira. That's the sad reality. If you understand Zimbabwe, the price for an item in the morning will change 3 times by evening. That's what they called, that one was hyperinflation. Zimbabwe went so bad. Now in Nigeria, the economists will tell us, we're not just experiencing inflation. There's something called stagflation, where there are more people are getting broke, but it's not obvious because we have thick skin in Nigeria. We are like our cows in Nigeria. You know the way our cows are. Our cows are very stubborn. So in Nigeria, our suffering threshold is hard. Before we get to the point where we say, Kilo de FF power, we will first invent a bacha stove. Do you understand? So we have a way of adapting. And what we don't realize is that this affects the value of our currency. Now, so what are we doing with our Greek? With our Greek, the main goal is to grow our own food, take care of food out of inflation. There's a saying that if food removes from poverty, please let me interpret to people like Amara, people that are not Yoruba. You can't understand it by just that English. Is that there's a Yoruba one that is conk. That's one that you can understand. So to do this, we are starting an agro fund and an agricultural company. Now the agricultural company already has access to land, and we all have access to technical partners. So for next year, this year we are saying our theme is the journey of 2021. Next year, our theme will actually be about agriculture. We want to also invite somebody. You can Google him up later. His name is African Farmer Mogaji. So I've had access to meet him, and he's interested in working with the company and by virtue the cooperative. So African Farmer, he was not born that way. He changed his name legally to African Farmer. He's someone that has done a whole lot when it comes to agric. So he's someone that will work together. But there are some clauses. I need people who are interested to be investors in this agric business. Now, it's available to members of the investment club and the cooperative. The rates will be different. We'll talk about it next year. But it's going to be available at the start of January. And it will not be enough for everybody at the start. And it's an investment because it's a business. It's high risk. Our normal investment, we are backing it. So if anything happens, we pay the money back. This one is high risk. We see the investment terrain. That's why we're going with people like African Farmer who has access to various lands. We'll talk about some of these. But he said for him to come to speak to us, he must ensure that we're all on the same page. And that means we need to buy his book. His book normally is 5,000. We got it at promo price of 2,000. Half of us needs to buy it. Sadly, before I knew what the question was, they already asked me how many of you are in your cooperative. And Christian, I won't lie now. I told him we're 64. I said half need to buy the book. I'm like, oh, if you tell me before now, I'll say we are still growing. I'll just say we are still growing. I trusting God. I'll give you a figure. So I want him to come and speak to us because basically, it's not even accessible to people anymore, but he does things based on his NGO platform. If we wanted to do it based on his office, he's the co-founder of Farm Crowdy. He has his own company, Farm Credit. He's super busy. He's the director of Agric for LCCI, Lagos State Chamber of Commerce. So yeah, if you know him, just Google him later. He's a big boy. But we've had opportunity to speak, and he wants to guide us through this journey. The reason why that is important for us is we have access to the farmland. He has promised that they will supervise whatever production we make, and they will buy back a large percentage. That means whatever we produce, we are not going to look for markets. He already has channels, logistics, a lot of things that sells it. They will buy back. I said, however, you cannot buy back 100%. The word I got is grow your own food. We must eat part of it. That was my issue with some of these agri companies we're having. And for us we just paid back 17% for investment club members. Only 2 people have not gotten a lot. And the reason why you have not gotten a lot on your investment is you know yourself, you know your reason. You've not updated your account, or somebody's bank, the bank said you not recognize. Okay. So what was I even saying before? You have let me forget myself. What was I saying? Agric, yes. It's not Agric, I can't remember. Yes, we must have part of it. Yes, thank you. Now I remember. So for us to be able to pay out this amount, we actually have to invest beyond government bonds. So we have to invest in various. Agriculture is the only industry that never enters a recession. So regardless of what happens in our nation, Agric doesn't go to a recession. Once price of oil comes down, it affects everybody. But Agric 2016 was above recession. So it's a good industry. But COVID-19 threw another spanner. So some of the major companies actually gave up issues. If you know them, TA, some of them were not able to pay back investors immediately. They've started paying back. So I don't want us to rely only on them. I want us to create our own system. So even if you don't partake now, there will be investment opportunities that will open. The same way we invest in other companies, we'll be able to invest in this particular company. But for those of us that are hearing now and can make our funds available by 1st or 2nd week of January, there will be opportunities to partake. It's only 40% that is coming to everybody. 25% is coming to members of the investment club. 15% is coming to members of the cooperative. For the ones coming to members of the cooperative, it's going to be split into 2. So one person can only buy 0.5%. So the minimum as a member of the cooperative you need is 50,000. Do you understand? But what that will do is make you a owner in the business. If you do not buy the business, when we make profit, you will share out of the profit after we have paid owners. Do you understand it? That's the way any business organization. No? Please say yes. What have you done to our Madam Deborah? Please give her the drink. So particularly for those of us that are watching online, those of us that are UK, different things. Okay, Kabo, please let me shut the door. So we would have different opportunities available. Now we would have the family members. When I say family, I mean FARMILY, family members. There will be pharmacy members, FARMACY. Then there will be Fit Farm. So Fit Farm, you know Fit Farm now. So family members are people that want to sign up to be part of the people that will be working on. It is well, we're people blessed. There are more babies coming, amen. That's the reason why we must do this and do it well. What would they eat? We must provide food for them to eat. And we have target crops. Some of our target crops are tomatoes. We're not doing onions. Even though onions are good right now, we're not doing onions. You know the simple reason why we're not doing onions, we are doing something else with onions. Onions will become very cheap next year, because it is now very expensive. The only reason why it's expensive, there's flooding in critical parts of the north. Infrastructure is affected, so onions are expensive. Onions, everybody has gone to plant onion. By next year, there will be a glut in the market, so we're not doing onions. However, we're likely going to buy onions, look for ways to dry them, and then sell. So we can trade onions, we won't farm onions. So we're looking at tomatoes, we're looking at chicken, we're looking at rice, we're looking at corn. So, and we're looking at vegetables, of course. I can't share some of these details with us. Some of these details have actually cost me to become a farmer myself. Basically, so the key thing why I'm sharing this is, if you have a business idea and you are a member and you are saying funding is your problem, I am telling you that you're a liar. Funding is not your problem. Do you understand? Your problem is that you have not started. You have not tested it. When you start and you test it and you begin to generate an income, let's have a discussion. Let's make it available to people. That way we can have 100 businesses here and people are doing different things. So you can be a teacher and your food supply is sorted. Your clothing supply is sorted because you have investment in several businesses. Do you understand? So over the course of 5 years, we are going to be investing like this at least twice a year. So whatever business you are, when you are ready, and we don't do loans. You know here, what we are doing is not loan, it's investment. So it's not that you are going to be worried about when you are going to pay back. It's for stake and equity when the time comes. So if you are interested, Sister Timmy, please see Mrs. Timmy, Sonny. I want 3 slots, 3 tables. If you're interested as a farmer, you want to be part of the family, or you're interested as an investor, we need to know so that we can reach out to you for the book. We need to have him here at our AGM. It will be nice to have him share with us. He wrote a book. I bought the book. I've read the book twice. Every time I read the book, oh, Bimbo, when did you arrive? I've been asking after you. I need to pick on people. Please remind me to pick on people like Bimbo, Dolakbo, that have not read the Telegram updates. I'll pick on them at the AGM, not now. 2K, we need to buy the book at 2K. I've read the book twice, and I read it at one sitting each. It's a very nice book. In that book, it talked about his father. His father comes from a rich line of, he works for Odua Company of Agric too. And there was one time they gave him a contract to revive 11,000 hectares of oil palm. Do you understand what that means? You can't imagine it. 11,000, 1 hectare is 2.5 acres. 1 acre is 6 plots. Do you understand? 11,000 hectares of oil producing oil palms. And the Nigerian government was not making, Ondo State government was not making a kobo. They were running at a loss. So they invited his family, his father. His father took it over. What they had to do was go and count each of the trees individually. They went with his team. His father is an accountant. Pamogaji, Folumogaji counted each of the trees. They saw that these things, what happens is that the executives that are there are siphoning the thing for themselves. Then they now have a full oil palm factory that was not working. The palm factory was not working. Then the father wanted to get the contract could not work. So God spoke to African farmer and said, come to Winans, Canaan land. So he didn't know why. He came on a Saturday. He found out that there was a Sunday service. Now the Sunday service was an anointing service. He just came. So when Bishop said, bring your oil, he did not have oil. So he ran out to buy oil and came back and said, this is my oil. So Bishop prayed on the oil. And then he said, okay, Holy Spirit, you told me to come to Winners. What am I doing to her? He said, give the oil to your father. So he gave the oil to his father. His father he's a believer that does not attend church. So his father reads the Bible, prays in his own way, doesn't go to church. So he said, okay, anoint the machine. So he gave his father to anoint the machine. The father went to Ondo, anointed the machines. As he anointed the machine and was about to turn, he heard a voice behind him. He turned back. He said that he saw a creature come outside of the oil palm and said to him that, we are the ones that drink from this place. Do you want this place to work? He said, yes. He said, give me water. He went to get a bottle of water. Real life story. I heard the father say it before I read it in the book. So he gave more details in the book. The father just said this is what happened, but he gave more details in the book. So he went to buy bottled water and put it there. He didn't see the creature again. He put it there and he turned away. As he was walking out, the empty bottle was thrown back at him. He didn't see the creature that threw back there. Ayewa. Long story short. So, but the machines that were not working started working, and then the Ondo State government started making so much money that they had to even create a broom making industry. Do you understand? From the oil palm government, they were not making money. Now they were making money not just from the oil palm, they were making money such that even the remnants, they employed women from the village and they were making 8 million from brooms alone every month. Nigeria. So please, I'm just saying that to encourage us. Let's buy the book if you are interested. All right. So that way we can invite him. And then, peradventure, there are a lot of things that we have done. That investment amount that I mentioned, 50K for cooperative and 100 for investment club, will be collected twice, in January and in June. Don't say I've not warned you. I've said everybody. You didn't hear the last one. Okay, you know I talked about we're creating a business and we're going into a venture. And it will be open to us to be members, founding equity members. That's to be stakeholders, to own percentages in the business. So there's 25% available to investment club, there's 15% available to cooperative members, and the 15% available will be split into two. That's 30 people only. Presently, we have more than 30 people in cooperative. Do you understand? But it's a first come, first serve basis. If by the time now we don't meet people that are interested, so everybody can only get 0.5%, and that is 50K. It will be collected twice, January and June. So it's not, no, 50K collected twice, 25. For cooperative members, for club members, it is 50K twice, 100K in total, but that equates to 1%. Do you understand? The reason for that segregation is that everybody at the investment club, I know them personally one-on-one. I don't know everybody at the cooperative. So, and they don't hear all of this same information. Not all of them have attended meetings. So finally, just before we call, we have different kinds of savings opportunities that are available. Where are you going? So we are going to have short-term savings and target savings. Short-term savings are 3 months. You have a question? Yes. What's that? Just one. So if at a timeline we now found out that there's more available, we can now open it, but it's first come, first serve. Something like for cooperative investment club is just 25. For cooperative is 30. So 55 in total, one per person. So we'll have, you want to ask a question? We'll ask a question at AOB. Okay. So we'll have 3 months. For those of us that just collected now, we collected 8 months. Someone is already asking, you want to do this, plan your money well. Can I give you my own personal advice? What I do when my investment matures. So if my investment matures, say you invested 100K, let's use cooperative example, you've gotten 10K, right? Now, your profit is 10K. I take out tithe. Then, remember our principle 70, 20% has to go back. Now, I now had value of inflation. Do you understand? I now had to it. By the time you do all of that, you will find that you have to reinvest everything back. Because for your money to keep being able to buy the same thing over and over, it has to keep going. So my advice, it shouldn't be less than 20% that you had back to the original principal if it's for a reinvestment. Do you understand? So that way you can begin to mitigate. Now the reason why we are opening some of this is with some of these opportunities, if that were to be a tongue, not a miracle, the interpretation I would give is that it's asking for signs and wonders. Okay, so we would have 3 months, and that one is for people that have money. You want to get back interest just every month. This money is just going to be with me for 3 months, and I want to get back interest. It's fine. We'd have 6 months. Then would have 9 months. So it will be 369. There will be short, there will be different time. We're not going to do federal government style that will pay you interest before. No, the money has not worked. Federal government prints naira, so they can afford to do that. But we can give you monthly. But sadly, the investments terrain right now, personally, I don't want us to ever have to get to a point where we do less than 1%. But sadly, Nigeria is saying that we have to do that. Because in 1 year, Nigeria wants to give us less than 1%. Nigeria mutual fund is doing 2%. Some of these things are heartbreaking. So we have to augment with some of our other investments, agri, but even that is getting riskier. Do you understand what we are doing? But with proper management, we can grow this. Then there's also opportunity for rent. Those of us that want to rent and prepare for our rent. Your rent is due in December. You are paying 300K. You know you're going to do 25K every month. So if you save that, there's a target savings per year. For instance, this year we're doing 10%. You'll be earning that 10%. So at the end of the year, you don't just get your 300K. You get 300K plus interest. Do you understand? So before you pay the landlord, you've paid yourself first. Even if not small. At all, not bad. Then if there's children's school fees, before you pay the ambassadors, pay yourself. So what that does is opportunity to do target rate. Then there's different ones that you can set. The minimum is 3 months. So we can't do anything less than 3 months because almost no investment matures in 3 months. Then you will set your own withdrawal dates. You set your rent for the year. Maximum time is twice, then you can set different parameters, just like Femi shows us. So, do we have any questions? Finally, we have several questions. Let's take the comments from Oya Kabod. Come and take over for me, and let's have the ministry representative before we go. Okay, there's something I'm still supposed to say. Sorry, you just stand here. So, we announced that we're not going to open the investment club until 2 years. However, powers that be, no powers that be, friendly powers. So different people have been saying, we should open. So we're going to open in January. But the way it works is, if you're going to be in investment club, your interest rate is slightly higher, but your risk also is slightly higher. The reason is nothing happens, but if anything ever happens, people in investment club are people that I know personally. We are people. First things first. Nobody can run with our money, so we all know. Everybody knows where it has all gone into. For instance, this year, Tribe Agri came and said that they couldn't make payments. What has been helping us, to tell you the truth, is God. So Femi has gone. There was one that wanted to invest in. And the first thing, we have a team. Please, let's appreciate them. We won't call the members, so it's prayer team. Please clap your hands for them. Please, they will say we do not recognize them. Please, let's recognize. We recognize you. We celebrate you. Prayer team, we celebrate you. They are here. They know themselves. God bless them. Really. So, what we do before any investment is we have due diligence lists, and we check different things. Okay, there are some that will say they'll give us a post-dated check. They'll do different things. They'll give us level of assurance. Do you understand? So, coming together, some of these investments, you can't do as one man because the investment sum is high. Do you understand? So, when we collect money together, we can invest at this. But there are some that has passed all of these human tests. We'll now take it to the place of prayer. Allah check if something is off here. We don't know. So, there was one. Femi Shanjobi is not here. We prayed about it. And it's rice. It was a rice deal. The rice is available. There's nothing wrong. But something was wrong. We just didn't do it. And only for us to find out later that those that did it, he get a CV. We trust God that they will get. So we can't keep up that for too long. That's why we are creating our own structure. Do you understand? So with for instance, the investments that we have right now, we have investments in rice. We have investment. We paused the rice because of dry season. We have investments in fish. We have investment in chicken. So 2021, I don't want us to just invest in chicken. I want us to make chicken available for our members. Do you understand? So I don't want us to do rice alone. I want us to make rice. That means everybody you will buy. You understand me? It's grown by us. We will sell to members of the public and to us. But will give us dealers' rates. Do you understand? So the rates we give people outside, we give to ourselves. So we are growing our own food. Do you understand? So for those of us, if you are in the cooperative and you want to move up to the investment club, you can reach out to me. But the conditions are, you must have been faithful in paying. If you have not been faithful in paying, you pay this one, you pay that one, forget it, you stay there a while. But members, I will basically refer. And then for new members, it is only those of us here that can refer people. Do you understand? So that we can't see somebody on the street and he says a Kabzeelite. Hey, they walk, Koshele. All right, so thank you very much, everybody.